Music matters. Keni Can Fly.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
How you doing, bro?
So good, how are you?
Cheers. I'm good, man. I'm good. Cheers to the booch.
Ready?
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
Cavita. Never had this brand.
Me either.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
Thank you for doing this, bro.
Of course.
I'm excited for it. Should be a fun one. I was telling you before, I've listened to your music for like a while.
Hell
like,
yeah.
you're definitely somebody like, because, well, I met you like absent, like, of like really nothing musical, I guess, because I guess we just met through Lance and Andrew.
Yeah, totally.
But I've been a fan of your stuff for like a minute now.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, of course. I knew of Chris, your manager,
Yeah.
because he's from San Jose,
Yeah.
which I'm from the Bay Area.
Fuck.
And I saw him perform at Family Affairs.
Yes.
Which was like,
oh, I think I was there too.
oh, sick.
Maybe.
It was like a little warehouse festival
Yeah.
thing. That was like,
Who else performed? Did Lance perform?
yeah, Lance
I saw
did.
that. Yeah, I was there.
Okay, sick. Yeah.
That was so fun.
Yeah, that was like 3-4 years ago. But I saw him perform, and then I followed him, and then like I saw what he was doing with the label and everything,
Yeah.
and the management and stuff, and then I found your music through him. So this is definitely a cool one to do for me.
Real motherfucker. Wait, where in the Bay are you from?
I'm from Concord.
Okay, yeah.
So that's like the East Bay area.
I keep hearing about Concord. How many people are from Concord around?
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, just from like here, this house.
Well, I'm from Concord. Lance is from Concord.
Oh, that's
My other roommate, Mateo, is from Concord.
Oh, okay. That's why I met them.
Yeah.
Well, I know Lance.
That's probably why.
When I met, yeah, okay, cool.
But yeah, Concord's a pretty like, I don't know. Like I feel like if you weren't from there's a lot of ways to hear about it. Yeah.
I've heard that as well.
It's a cool place, but like not a lot goes on. I feel like.
I'm gonna take these off.
Oh yeah, no, you're chilling.
Cool.
Yeah, I was sick to find you through that though. But so yeah, there was that,
Yeah.
and then I saw you perform at that 29th Street show, which we were talking about. That was the first show like I ever saw you at.
Really? That was so fun.
So that was super sick.
That was a really fun time.
And I remember instantly, like I was like, damn, like it's so like I'm such like a fan of rappers who like play with bands. So that was such like a cool thing to see in the early days.
You, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fuck. That was like, I feel like LA was such a foreign concept to me at the time, and like it was so weird to be there because I felt like San Diego's like so chill. Everyone's like it's so easy to get people to move. They just want to. And I feel like actually that show was really, everyone was hella chill too. But the other shows I've done in LA, like I feel like there's a lot of like music people there who are kind of checking out your music instead of dancing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, like move a little bit.
Yeah.
But then, you know, they're the same people who are saying like good job and shit. They're just like, I guess they're not trying to dance. I'm always trying to dance though, you know what I mean?
I noticed the exact same thing when I moved here.
Yeah.
Like LA feels like it's like a lot of music industry, but not a lot of music sometimes. Whereas like somewhere like San Diego, I would assume like is the opposite. Yeah.
Totally,
like,
bro.
Like where I'm from it's the exact opposite.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I feel like you had trouble like getting any, like you go to any show and there's like not a chance that people are just gonna stand still. Like people are always dancing, always having a good time. I don't know, maybe it's like a mentality thing.
Yeah, I think so. House shows and stuff too are more common maybe elsewhere. Just I don't know. It's cool though. It's dope, bro.
Were you performing a lot when you were in San Diego? So you agree, you're not from San Diego, right?
No, I'm from Las Vegas.
Okay, gotcha.
I was born and raised in Las Vegas, and then like around for high school I moved to Northern California, and then I went to San Diego.
Where in NorCal?
My grandma lives in Monterey.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, it was fire. So my great grandma, she was sick, so we stayed with her, and I just took care of her until she passed away. And then I ended up going to high school there. And then I ended up in San Diego for college, and it was dope. It was cool.
How was that experience, kind of like moving around a couple different places? Because I guess before you even went to school, you'd lived in 3 places at that point? Yeah,
for sure. It was cool, bro. I think Vegas is you're just exposed to a lot, like early on. You know? And then I felt like when I got to like Northern California, Monterey, it was like the people I was like meeting with, like I was probably the most, I don't know, like experienced person or just seen some shit, I guess. And like I felt it was nice. It was very refreshing. I was like, oh, okay, like that's just not normal. Yeah. And maybe it is in some places, but it wasn't there. And I was like, it allowed me to like see it as something. It was more of like a choice, you know, like those the things I was around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to like needing to be around those environments and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's such an interesting thing to think about. I feel like we all like, I feel like you have to take a step back and think about it often, but it's like, I think we're an accumulation of our parents and our experiences.
Yeah, for sure.
And so many of those experiences are based on like the places that we grew up and what we're around, you know?
Yeah,
it's definitely. Like the things that it's kind of like you are what you know, you know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Were you around music in Vegas?
Not really. I think, well, my uncle, he passed away, but so rest in peace, Tommy. But
rest in peace.
He taught me how to like freestyle and stuff when I was like 11, 12. And then I think like, I guess I was just like trying to figure out what I wanted to. I was always like playing sports and stuff. But I definitely, God, the rain is so crazy. Hold on.
Yeah.
I am going to wear these.
It is moving. Actually. Damn. Yeah, it is raining.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
What was that? Oh yeah, and I just wanted to like learn how to rap and like be better at that shit, and like I really saw it as something unique, and like the older kids were doing it. Like my uncle was like 5 years older than me. He wasn't like a uncle necessarily. He's more like the homie.
Yeah.
So him and his friends would like rap and stuff, and I would be rapping with them, and I just thought it was so fire, so I just kept doing it and wanted to get better, and just eventually realized I could like actually make songs and stuff, and you know, I don't know, and now I'm doing this, I guess.
Was the music that he was making like similar to the stuff that you're making now?
Hell no.
No.
See, that's super. That's what I was thinking about the other day. I was like, bro, I wish he was alive so he could like actually see the evolution. You know what I mean? I'm making some really weird stuff right now. This like it all is like stemmed from me knowing how to rap and stuff, but it's super like genreless and like nothing specific, right? Like and I just wish he could see that shit. I think that would have been really cool. You know, he influenced me in a lot of crazy ways. But his friends who like kind of like nurtured me and helped me like get better and push me to like do better shit, they're still around. So
cool.
You know, they're able to see that, and that's really cool.
Yeah, it is so weird. Like as a creative, I feel like so many people like when they stop growing is when they stop changing. Like I think so many people get in this mindset where it's like they make the things that they think people would like to hear, and they don't just follow wherever their intuition takes them. Like they don't follow whichever way they end up growing, you know?
Yeah, totally.
And I feel like that can take like a lot of growth away from people.
That's facts. I mean, yeah, that frozen place that you're talking about, I think we're all we've all been in that situation, whether we're conscious of it or not. But like I think especially with what's it called, like just everything that's around the music that isn't the music, or like the art, like social media, and like it sounds cringy to even talk about, like reference social media. It's like in social media these days, but like social media and like, you know, analytics of shit and like stuff that the artist should really not be focused on, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
That shit is all taking you out of the place of like following your intuition. I believe. I think so. I don't know. And right now I'm in a really good place. I feel like I'm very grounded and in touch with like the shit I like, and I'm just trying to stay here as long as possible. Like I'm not trying to get distracted by anything, to be honest, and it's nice. It's
almost like being an artist right now. Everything like wants to take you away from the thing that matters most, which is the creation.
Totally.
You know, but it's like the further and further you get from that, and the more distracted you get with it. Like it seems antithetical, right? Like it seems like, you know, the better you are at marketing your music, the better your music catches, or like the better you are organizing shows or your live performance or whatever it is. And I'm not saying that stuff matters. Of course it does. Yeah. It's important to be like a well-rounded creative, but I think striking the balance between like creating and then like thinking about creation is so important, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Fuck, that's I was gonna say something about I can't remember now. But yeah, I totally agree. It's very true, bro. Just I think balance is really important all the time. Yeah. Damn, what was I gonna say?
I hate that happens. I feel you. Fuck. No, you'll go. You'll get it back at some random point. They're like, oh shit,
I'll let you know.
No, I feel that though. Like I think I've gotten in places where like I get so wrapped up in the other aspects of creation that I get far from like the actual creating of it, like almost like the admin shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's so easy to get wrapped up in that and then forget. Because the thing is, right, it's like you can have the best marketing plan for a song ever. You can have the best and most coherent and best way to like build out a world ever. If the song isn't good, it's simply not going to do well.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You have to like, I don't know. And I feel like I'm becoming much more aware of like the visuals, especially because I went to college for visual arts, you know.
Oh, cool.
So I was like being informed by all that stuff, but now I'm like very. Sometimes I feel like I at first I felt like I was thinking about it too much.
Yeah.
Or like I was like, oh shit, like how, like what's the visual gonna be for this? And I was like, well, the song's not even like where it should be yet. Like let me go back, let me think about this and get the song, like get it. It's just a different mindset, right?
Totally.
But lately I've been having like the visual idea has been inspiring like the song, which is really interesting.
What do you mean?
Like I'll hear a beat and I'll start thinking about like where I could be, like what landscape I could be showing, or like I'm thinking about it. I'm feeling some type of way from this beat, right?
Yeah.
And I start writing to it, and whatever that way is I'm feeling, I'm like giving that like a landscape or a place to like show that, which would be the dopest thing. And I feel like that recently helped me finish a song. Like it's so hard to explain, really, to be honest. But when I was just like, I was like, oh shit, I know what to do with this finally. Like lyrically I knew what to do when like I feel like I was at a halt with that shit for a while. Like I didn't know what to do with it, but because I like had seen this like weird, this where I feel like it should be like shot, and like there was this, it just felt like there was way more depth to what I was trying to do, and it was like, okay, it was weird, bro, but I think that shit's beautiful, and I think I don't know what that song would be right now if I didn't have that, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
Do you think songs look a certain way? Like I I think about that all the time.
Interesting.
I think that songs like, because I think this is like a really big part of like world building around music, right? And like world building around like albums or songs or rollouts or whatever. Yeah. But it's like I very viscerally, like that's a hard word to say. Viscerally. I like very viscerally see, I think, my favorite songs and what they look like in my head. Like I think like even like outside of what the music video or whatever the visual world might look like it looks a certain way.
Like
to me.
Outside of like a narrative. Yeah. I mean like literally just like. Oh, interesting.
Like I think colors are a big part of that for me.
For sure.
Like I think like for whatever reason, like Radiohead, like OK Computer, that album is like very foundational for me. It makes me feel purple. Like I
feel you.
You know
I
what
think
I mean?
that's specific to you. I think it's specific to the person. You know what I mean? But I totally agree with you. Yeah. I think certain songs feel a certain way, and I could tell you what they look like to me. Yeah. But I don't think there's like a general thing for, yeah, you know what I mean? Like
one thing I think about too a lot is like I'm very into like fonts and typefaces. I think they're really, really cool.
Fuck yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's tight. Yeah. I took a typography class when I was at community college. And we watched this documentary called Helvetica.
Yeah, I watched Helvetica too.
Yeah. it like launched my
I watched that in the visual arts shit. That's so sick. Funny.
So why visual arts and not music? Were you like trying to go into that landscape then, or
music school wasn't, it was just, there was not a lot of resources there. There wasn't a lot of resources in visual arts either. But what I realized I could do, because first I was like gonna do business and I was gonna do philosophy, and then philosophy was like crazy hard. Actually, really, academic philosophy is like fucking the most painful shit possible unless you really love that shit. Like, that's
so interesting.
And I was like trying to do music. I was like, my thought process was like philosophy. I'm already like thinking in that way for like music and shit. Like, but no, fuck that. That was so hard. And then I started doing visual arts, and I was like, I realized I could just like, for the prompts for these classes for visual stuff, I could just make like music videos and stuff for them. Oh, cool. So I just like would make a song and then make like a visual for it and then bring it to the class and like show it, and then I'd be like, yep, this is art, and I just had to like explain it. Yeah. You know, my thoughts behind it, because they're like when they hear like audio, when when a visual arts, at least this one, the visual arts department hears like audio, they're like, wow, this is like, this adds so much depth to the video.
Multimedia.
When like that's my focus in the first place, and I'm really like starting with that, you know what I mean? So it was something different that they hadn't really seen. So I think that helped me, to be honest. There was a lot of critiquing. A lot of them had a lot of shit to say, especially this old dude. But it was cool. It was good. And yeah, I'm here now.
Do you look back at it and like, do you think it helped you in your career now?
Yeah, I think it's really gonna help me in the future.
Cool.
Like just the way I think about how all this shit intertwines, and just how I make stuff. I'm just more thoughtful, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like, because that's interesting too. It's like there's a very like academic way of thinking about art, I think, where people have this tendency to like get in this mindset where it's like, how much do you critique it, how much do you not critique it, like how much do you think about it, how much do you not think about it, you know? Like sometimes I think about like how much of all, because that's like damn near what I do for a job. It's like,
for sure,
think about music and think about art. But then I question, sometimes I'll like walk myself back and I'm like, how much of this is like ironic that I'm thinking about it this hard when it's meant to be enjoyed on like a more casual or specific level, you know what I mean?
For sure. I think like, at least for me, I'm like, I really don't like to judge shit that much. I don't like to be the critiquer at all, bro.
Yeah.
I just feel like, especially when I was like, you know, being critiqued by like professors and stuff, it was like, I felt like I was making the coolest shit in there, and the shit that they're saying is so specific to their experience, where like I'm not even talking to you guys with this, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like this isn't even speaking to you guys, you know what I mean? So I think I'm down to like have conversations about the art that's like with someone who's like I'm speaking to, or like who understands. You'll never truly understand something, but like you'll understand the like vision of it, you know what I mean? Yeah. If you're like, I feel like if you're like in our age, or like just understand like the taste of shit, you know what I mean? So I mean, I'm super down for those, and I just try not to be as, I feel like those are two different brains, the analytical and like the actual making of the shit, the act of that. I feel like I'm trying to be in the act as much as I possibly can,
and not like the critiquing lens.
Yeah, but but you could, it does make you better, I feel like, if you're like critiquing shit. I just don't like that much. Yeah,
no, I get it. I feel that it, like, for me anyway, like I think it can sometimes eliminate my enjoyment of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I think, bro, like honestly, because like where my like obsession of music in general spiraled, I was like super online. Like it was very like from like I grew up on the internet, like on like weird Reddit forums, looking at like random like alternative hip hop records and shit. But it was like coming from that place, like a lot of that culture is like super ultra like analytical and super ultra like critical for like not really any reason. Like I don't like, I think there's you know what I mean? Like there can be certain kinds of criticism that I think criticism is good when it provokes a conversation. Yeah, for sure. I think when it doesn't provoke a conversation, it's kind of useless. And like when Above the Bridge started, like so much of it was like a blog, and like I would get in the mindset of like reviewing music sometimes, but then I did that for a while, and then I just began to hate it because it felt like I was arguing with people instead of just sharing my thoughts. You know? Yeah, totally.
That's so funny, actually.
Yeah, it's a really, really weird thing. Yeah. So when you were in San Diego in school, was there like a big scene around you musically? Like, were you performing a lot? Like, how did that kind of like move your music to a place where you wanted to pursue it after?
We performed a ton in San Diego. We just started doing our own shows, and eventually people started coming, and a lot of people started coming, and then but there was not a scene. No, bro. It was literally just us like trying to, but there's kind of a scene. Everyone just kind of keeps to themselves. Everyone's doing their own thing. It's just how it is out there. And yeah, we started doing it ourselves, and then we started like just trying to get everyone to pull up, and it started going up, to be honest, bro. And then I got the opportunity to open for Amine, and
that's so sick.
That was crazy, to be totally honest. That was so sick, and I got to meet him and stuff.
How was that?
It was so sick. Yeah, it was so tight. That was like, it was really dope. I almost gave him a USB, and I was like, ooh, he's just so chill right now. Yeah. Like, and honestly, like, there was like a couple songs on there I was like, fuck, these are like not ready to like be. But I should have still done it. I don't know, I just think about it, it's funny.
I saw him at the Masonic in San Francisco. And oh yeah, bro, Mario, 454 opened, and this was like,
that's cold, bro.
Yeah, it was like 3 years ago.
That's cold. Did 454 just do like a DJ set, or did he have like a band?
I think he just played over tracks, if I remember right.
Tough.
Yeah, dude, in that 454 the band would be so sick though.
I know. Yeah, I don't.
Crazy.
That would be crazy.
Did Amine play with the band?
Nah, he was just DJ. Like, yeah.
Dude, I remember his energy being so sick when I saw him live.
His energy was superior.
How did you start to build out your band? Like, meet everybody, and have you always played with the band?
Yes, actually the only reason I play with a band is because I like had those people around me already. Like I had zero plan. I've never envisioned myself playing with a band ever since I was a kid. Like I was always like, just whenever I started taking rap more seriously, I just wasn't even thinking about that shit. And then all the homies just happened to play instruments. Like I was friends with these people before. Yeah. They knew I made music and stuff, but it was definitely on the more chill scale, you know. Then I started dropping shit, and I was like, you know, like we should try and perform this. And we just started figuring out how to perform this. And then like my homie Coley was like, oh, I could play like keys. And then our homie Adrian could play guitar. Our homie Josh could play bass. And my friend / main producer Mateo could play guitar as well. And it was just like, it was just perfect. And we just needed to find a drummer. So yeah, we did that, and then it was a wrap, bro.
It just made sense.
Yeah, it made way too much sense. And actually, I'm trying to figure out, I feel like I've been so dependent on the band. Like I feel like it would be so different to perform alone. Like I haven't really done it that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm so like, I feel like it's just a big family on stage, you know? And like I'd be like, damn, it'd be lonely as fuck up there without them.
Yeah.
But I do want to be able to do that so I could like, you know, move a little more lighter, you know?
Dude,
yeah.
That is so sick though that you were able to like build out that team like that early, dude. Yeah,
it was just the homies. Like it wasn't even like, bro, it was crazy. It was so natural and organic, and that's the story of everything though, like that I've been doing, to be honest. Like,
I have like periods in my brain that are marked by like I was creating with people, and then I was creating without people. And then I think the periods where I was like creating with people just stand out of my brain as such like fond memories. You know what I mean?
Totally, bro. I totally feel that.
Like this shit is so much more fun when you have like somebody to share it with.
Yeah, the squad. Yeah, bro. Easily. And I think, yeah. I think the systems that we're in, like, try to take us away from that, to be honest. You know, they really focus on like individuality and like not needing other people, and that's really powerful. Like it's good to be free, it's good to have that, but bro, community is like so beautiful.
Yeah,
like having people around that you guys care about each other, and you know, you guys can hold each other accountable. Like not even like really on some like pushy shit, but just like, you know, love, like having love around like changes the way that we are. I promise you. Like, not that you need to be told that, but you know what I mean? Like it's just, it's amazing. Like, so I don't know, it's been cool.
No, I know exactly what you mean. That's like my biggest like overarching goal with like everything that I do is like just community. It's like building out like a localized group of people that like truly depend on each other, because it's like, I don't know, like you could create for the rest of your life, but like when you're 40 and you have kids and hopefully like a family, and like, you know, you've been lucky enough to make tons of stuff, it would kind of suck if you didn't have people to, you know, reminisce over it with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
One thing I've been thinking a lot. Oh, I'm sorry, cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Oh, I was saying one thing I've been thinking about a lot recently, like with communities, is like how strange it is that like we grew up with like this is so weird. But, like we grew up with a globalized community our entire life because of the internet, whereas our parents grew up with a localized community that then became a globalized community. And I think that's so much of like where the divide between the way like our generations think is, you know?
Totally. Yeah, that's wild. I feel like, yeah, bro, the world is just, it is so different right now. Yeah. And it is only changing like faster, you know?
Yeah.
That is super true though.
In like good and bad ways, but scary.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like that shit is inherently scary, but I don't know.
How did you like outside of your band and everything? How did you begin to like? Because I know we were talking about Chris before. How did you like find your management and kind of like get tapped in with all those people and just like build out more of like the behind the scenes team and stuff? And like when you did, how much did that help?
I mean, it's like, I think having a community is really dope, and I think that's really what that is. The team. Let's see, how did I meet Chris? Oh, I was like, Chris just reached out to me over like Instagram, and then this was a long time ago, by the way. And then we just tapped in. He called me. We had a good call. He like shared with me his vision, and I shared it with him mine. And he was just like so fucking hungry and like wanted to get after something. I was like, bro, this is the energy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was tight. And then like basically the next year he would like drive from San Jose to San Diego and just like stay with me for a couple of days and like help me shoot shit. And like Jesus, off of no, like I wasn't giving him anything. Like it was just pure love, like him helping out. It was dope. It was fucking amazing, and we got a lot of shit done, and it was just, the vibe was literally immaculate, bro. It was great. Those are times I will literally reminisce over. Yeah. And then Ariana as well, she's also on my team. Her and Chris both manage me. I met her in San Diego. She's fucking amazing. She's so cool. She works at Rock Nation now. She's super dope. And then shit, what else was it? What other part of the question was there?
Oh, just like how much that helped.
Oh, not to like put anything down by them. They help a lot with like managing shit.
Of course, yeah.
I think there's different types of managers. I think some managers like literally give like access to a lot of shit. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like we're getting it out of the fucking mud, and I like that. I really like that. Yeah. They help like when people are reaching out and stuff, they help field all that shit, which is so nice, because I'm not trying to deal with any of that. Yeah. Like to be real, bro. Yeah. I'm not, like, I'm just trying to make shit and like build that shit. But that being said, like, wait, what did I say? They help field that shit. Yeah, I mean, they really just help me like manage everything and like get it figured out. And like if they hear about stuff, they'll hook it up. But I don't know, it's their family, bro. If anything, like, it's just, they're good ass people, and that's like, that energy, like, I don't know, that shit's priceless, bro. Like, I just need that to be, you know, I'm out here making stuff, and like there's certain, it's from like a place of feeling, bro, and I need to feel good, not like, I don't need to be like, feel like perfect, you know, and actually, you know, but I need to feel like good about the situation we have, you know. That shit would eat me up if like it, you know, if it didn't feel right. But they're amazing, they're great people, and I fucking have so much respect for them, and they both have their own shit going too. Sick. Like, it's not like, you know, we're, you know, it's cool, they're good people.
It's such a weird time where like, I was thinking about this when you said like it's really dope that he's driving all the way down there and helping you shoot stuff. Like, it's so weird that like I feel like right now, more than ever, artists are not just like expected to be artists, they're expected to be like musicians and filmmakers and like, you know, like PR people and like marketing agents and like all this stuff. And that's like a direct causation of the internet, I feel like. Totally. Like, because we've made all these weird things like necessary to like find success in music, it's like now all of a sudden like musicians have to be everything. They have to be a filmmaker and all that. So, you know, like, I think in the early days, if you can manage like find people who are building at the same rate as you and, you know, around the same time as you, and like coming up with them together as like one cohesive unit, that is like priceless, bro. Yeah, for sure. That's so much easier than like trying to do everything yourself.
Yeah,
you know?
Totally. Yeah, I think that's what we were doing. Like, it's a little different now, because you know, my man, like, Chris lives in New York now, and Ariana lives in LA. Damn, not to dox them, I'm out here doxing them and shit.
It's okay, those are big cities.
Or are they? Well, I'll tell you exactly where.
Fourth and
whoa, don't say that shit. Take this off. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't know. It's I forgot what we were saying.
Oh, just how like you're, you know, being a musician now is like so expecting that you're just like everything.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's true, bro. I definitely do a lot of it. Like, I think if anything, bro, coming to terms with like that, once you realize that and you just take on that responsibility, like I love having managers and stuff, but even like giving a lot of those responsibilities to someone else, like it just doesn't even feel right anyways. You know what I mean? Like having someone else do a lot of those things that where it's like, damn, I feel like I could have done that better.
Interesting.
And that's even with people I really fuck with. You know what I mean? It's just there's shit that like, there's just certain things like that where it's like, fuck, if I'm not gonna do it, like I don't really want someone else doing it.
Interesting.
Like anyone. It doesn't matter, bro. At least for me, I'm just picky then, but that's how I feel like. And it's like, maybe that is because of the internet or this environment. Maybe I feel like I need to be making those decisions for some reason, and it falls on me. I don't know why, but I definitely do, and I'm down for it though. Like, it's so worth it, you know. Dude,
that gets so hard, I think, to like get to a place where like you are comfortable enough to like allow other people to have like pieces in your art, like
trust.
Like trust.
Trust is fucking difficult.
I feel that, man. Like, I'm like, bro, I'm such a control. It's hard, dude. It's hard. It's really hard.
Well, and like talking about like when you were talking about community, the one thing I was thinking about is like, what happens when someone fucks up the community, you know, or like it's like the trust that, you know, you build trust with people, and you build this repertoire, and then something happens, and it's like, you know, what happens next? You know, you guys ostracize this person, you try to solve it. Like, what if it's unsolvable? Like, and I think I low-key went through a little bit of that shit, and now I'm a lot more intentional about the like people I'm like around, you know, because of that. And I think it's for the better in the long run, but it's definitely like a lot lonelier, bro. Like I feel like that's just how it is though right now. And I don't know,
I get that. I mean, because that is a really, really weird thing about community. It's like community it's almost like antithetical to itself, because it's like community is built on the back of like a lot of individuals who believe in one thing, and you know that like forms this cohesive unit. But then it's like when somebody breaks from that and they do something like morally challenges that, like, do you, like you said, like, do you ostracize them from like this community? Because that in a way is like antithetical to community itself. Totally. But like, you know, like one bad egg makes the whole what do they say, one bad egg makes the whole dozen rotten.
But a lot of times, whatever, like that shit will also like, it will just sort itself out. Like that person will remove themselves, or like maybe you guys just like forgive the person. Like you can't move forward without forgiveness, you know what I mean? So like, you know, hopefully everyone like can just either forgive that person, or there can be a real conversation that's had, whatever it is, you know what I mean? But yeah, I feel like usually it just sorts itself out, to be honest.
Interesting. You know what I mean? That is so key though, like not being able to move forward without forgiveness, dude. Like, it's so strange. It's so, if it was a metaphor, it's like every time you don't forgive somebody, it just like, it's like these like ankle weights, like you just can't move, you know, like it weighs you down. Like it's so, do you think over the years, like as you've gotten older, you've gotten better at that forgiveness? Have you ever struggled with it? I mean, maybe that's just me projecting. I've gotten better at it.
Right now I'm really good at it. I feel like early on I was also really good at it. There's been I feel like there was a time in my life though where I definitely wasn't. I was holding shit, you know. I was holding on to stuff. But once you can like let that go, it's so much better for everyone. You know? Especially your own clarity and shit like that. It could be like the craziest shit too. Like it could be some fucked up shit, and like if you're, I don't know, like it will.
My bad.
Nah, you good. Answer that shit.
No, go ahead.
Let's answer that. What you? I'll talk to them.
That was Tokyo Rue, the guy you were talking about on the desk.
Hey, invest in Tokyo Rue coin. Come on, baby.
That was crazy.
To the moon. No.
To the moon. To the moon. Shout out to Tokyo Rue.
Yeah. What were we talking about?
Forgiveness.
Yeah. forgiveness. You gotta do it. You have to. That's the only way you can be free, bro. I promise.
Yeah. No, it's hard, man. But I think the better and better you get at it, like the stronger you become as a human being.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, I think it takes so much strength to like look
does.
somebody in the eyes who you like, who like,
nah, for sure.
you know, really did some terrible shit,
Yeah.
and just like have the heart to be able to forgive them. That is like in my opinion, that's like a strong person.
Yeah,
you know?
totally agree.
So you mentioned in the beginning of the interview, like you were saying when you first started coming up to LA for shows, it felt like so strange and like a whole different world. How, when you moved, because you've only been here for a couple months now, right?
Yeah.
How has it been kind of adapting, and like what have been the biggest things that you've taken and learned from LA so far? And what do you like? What do you not like? Sorry, that was like 12 questions in one.
You're good. I've been pretty ducked off, to be honest. I feel like I also moved at a time where I'm like working on like a bigger project that I've never like made before, you know? Like I've never made this large body of work, and I feel like I would like to be a little more social if I can get myself to do that. But I'm very content right now with just like being at the crib, like ducked off, making shit, and like I live with 4 other people who are all I love dearly, so it's like so easy to just be there. You know what I mean?
Get it, yeah.
It's so chill, and like everyone is great, and we know each other. Those are my brothers, and yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool to be here. It's definitely, LA feels very like spread out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's very spread out, and I don't know. I'm just trying to make some, you know, meet people, find cool shit to do, I guess. You know, I don't know. That's
dope that you're like content just like with that though, because I feel like when I first moved here, like that was like I was happy to be in the house for sure, but I would also get these weird pockets of like FOMO where it's like everyone's out doing whatever and it's like you get in this weird spot where it's like you feel like you move here, so you have to be a part of that and like participate in the extracurriculars and like whatever it is for you, like the nightlife, the friends, whatever it is. And I don't know, I feel like it's easy to get to this place where like you feel pressure to like exist in that, but like, you know, you got to ground yourself and be like, that's not why I'm here, you know?
I think I'll definitely go through that. Like I want to be social, I want to talk to people. I don't really like, I'm not so like against that necessarily. I think just right now I'm very focused. Even like we were talking about, like I'm sober right now. Like I haven't been sober for this long, for like a long time, and
nice.
I want to ride that. Like I want to see how long I can be sober for, bro.
Yeah,
like, you know, I think it's a beautiful thing.
How is it like? Have you noticed any changes, like just in your clarity and your mindset?
I'm just not distracted. I feel like I'm just getting more shit done, really. And but that's also like me pushing myself to do that stuff, you know what I mean? Like I feel like we're all just like we're just products of the things we think and like the way so if we like set up a ton of like what's it called, we set up shit to be a certain way, like it will be that way.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I took certain steps to be more like on my shit, and I'm now on my shit. But at the same time, like I have homies who are like, who smoke all the time and they're some of the most productive people I know, you know what I mean? They're so on their shit, and it's just, that just wasn't me though, you know? I couldn't get myself to be like that, and I think it's just the way I grew up, and like the ideas I have around certain things, you know? Yeah. But it is what it is, bro. Like I'm in a great place now. Like I just know that about myself, so that's cool.
Interesting. Yeah, that is like, how old are you?
23.
Yeah, dude, I feel like that is so key. Like learning those things. Like, oh, dude, that's so true. I think like I've had moments in time where I've taken a step back and I've been like, I've made like very, very real, like, I don't want to say judgments, but like, I guess, what would the word be? Like examine myself, I suppose. Like realizations, I guess is the word I was looking for. Like I've made these like really specific realizations about my life and like the way that I function, and like when you realize those things about yourself, it feels like a superpower. Yeah, for sure. Like for you, like you said, like you're like, oh, when I'm sober, like I'm way more focused and get way more stuff done. Like kind of what you were saying, like setting up those structures, like to check all those pillars to like make sure that you're in the place where like you can function correctly and like you can be most successful. That I feel like it takes so much discipline, but it's like once you can get there and you know yourself that well, it feels like you're invincible, you know?
Also a huge thing, bro, I just wanted to remember my dreams. That was a massive part of me wanting to go sober.
Interesting.
I have a dream journal. I write all that shit down. Like, I get so many ideas from my dreams. Like,
when did you start realizing that you were getting those? Like, have you always dreamed that vividly?
I used not when I'm like smoking a lot. I don't really dream as much. I definitely do dream. I'm just not as good at remembering them. You know, it's not as coherent. But as soon as I like stopped, bro, I was like, I had the most vivid ass dreams, and I was just like, dude, I would wake up and just feel like a different kind of. I just wanted to like make something, you know, and that was really beautiful. And I think I can like. Harvest is a weird word. I was gonna say
harness, maybe.
Yeah, harness. Yeah, harness. Harvest is crazy.
I'm gonna harvest my dreams.
Nah, but I just want to like be in that world more. And so, yeah, dreams are so fucking weird and beautiful, and like, they're just so random, you know.
Dude, I feel like dreams are very psychedelic sometimes. Like, I feel like,
psychedelic.
Yeah, I feel like psychedelics and dreams operate on a very, very, very similar level. I feel like.
Yeah, totally. I think. Yeah, I love psychedelics too. Mushrooms are amazing.
Have they helped you a lot?
They've helped me so much. I think mushrooms are such a good medicine.
Interesting.
They're such a good medicine. I think, you know, they're very powerful, so they're not just like, I think depending on like where your mental state is at, like it'll meet you there and like amplify it in a weird way.
Yeah.
But like,
wow,
you know, I definitely feel like they've helped open me up and like process things about myself that I wouldn't have even like thought about before, or maybe it would have taken a while, like longer, to like know that stuff about myself, you know.
That amplification thing is really interesting.
Yeah.
I had this note that I think about this a lot. I had this note that I wrote down when I was like 17 and super stoned one night. I just wrote down, like, because I was thinking, I was just super stoned, but I was thinking about mushrooms. And I remember writing down, I was like, the difference between like weed or something versus like a psychedelic is like, if you're super stoned, like you can think something's going to happen but it won't actually happen. The difference is when you're on a psychedelic, that thing actually happens. You know what I mean?
You mean like you'll literally see it? Like,
yeah, exactly.
You mean like heavy tripping?
Yes, like when you're tripping.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, how specific, like mushrooms are very, I feel like mushrooms for me, I'm very not I'm not as in control. Like the places it takes me are very like, I almost feel like the mushroom is like is like teaching me or taking me somewhere.
That's how I feel.
You know what I mean? Totally. And I feel like LSD, for example, is I'm a little more like in control. Like I can choose like what's happening a little more. But it's still like crazy.
Like more conscious?
Yeah, it's a little more in like your head, or like in like your, I think head is a good way to put it.
I feel that with the mushrooms. Like I think it's very much like, I think like the strong psychedelic experiences I've had have been very much like it's almost like your brain. It's so hard to like these things. Like, you know what I mean?
They're
like
meant to be explained.
You know, yeah, I get it.
For sure, we can try.
Yeah, no, I feel it. Yeah, but it's like it's almost like your brain puts out like a hologram of something for you to watch, you know, and it's like it's almost like an infomercial. It's like it's,
that's crazy.
Yeah, you know, it's like you take this thing and then it's like it's supposed to tell you this certain thing about yourself.
Yeah.
So it like puts on this infomercial for you to like watch almost, you know.
Yeah, that's hard.
Do you feel like you can control your trips at all?
Definitely. I think with like intention, like what you, like you're supposed to like say, bro, the first time I tripped, I was with a shaman, like a real, like, whoa, he was dope, and it was with all the homies, and he really, like, I had a beautiful experience because it was very intentional. Like I was definitely, I had written down the shit that like
you went in looking for something.
Yeah, for sure. And I found that shit, which is such a crazy experience, bro. Like it's so crazy. It's wild to feel like you have answers, you know?
Wow.
Like that's maybe the only time in my life I can be like, oh wow. And those answers aren't like concrete things. Like it's not like this is the answer, this is the answer. It's more like this is your answer. Now keep going, you know? Wow.
Yeah. Or I've found that sometimes it's not concrete answers, but it's like almost like it opens the door for you to walk through and find the answers yourself.
Totally.
You know?
Totally.
How did you like first find mushrooms and like start experimenting with them?
I was just in college. We just it was with the bandmates, all the homies. Shout out everyone. Damn. Yeah, and then we got an Airbnb. We rented a house. Everyone just like turned off their phones for the next like 4 days.
Sick.
We just tripped, and it was great, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Shannon, yeah, Troy, rest in peace, Haley. Shout out Haley.
Rest in peace.
Jericho, Hassan, Mateo. Yeah, it was great. It was great. Coley,
Yeah.
Adrian, Ryan, amazing.
I've never had like a shared experience on mushrooms. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I bet it's super different. Yeah.
You know, there was a moment where this dude Max, the shaman, he took me to
Oh wait, so
the guide.
you all went with the shaman?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's so cool.
Yeah, he's the homie too. Like,
Okay, gotcha.
he really knows what he's doing. And, he was our guide, and he took me to this room, and he basically was like, enjoy, and he like turned the music up, and then he like left, and like it was just me in this room, and I was just like, oh fuck, and I was just having all these realizations. I had my journal, and I was like crying and being of joyness, like so happy, and just beautiful shit was happening in there, and listening to crazy sounds. I remember No Name came on.
Whoa,
once.
she would
What
be a
song was it?
crazy
Song
artist.
32, you know Song 32?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god,
That'd be
bro.
crazy.
I was like at the peak of my trip, and I heard that, and I was like, bro.
Dude, I feel like her words on much would just be like, whoa.
Yeah, she's the GOAT, bro.
Yeah.
People don't talk about her enough. She's
No.
probably the boy or girl, whatever. It doesn't matter. She's one of the best rappers, easily. Like
I
poetry,
agree.
pure poetry.
100%.
Just beautiful, bro. No Name's insane.
Yeah, no, she slept on. That's wow, dude. Yeah, that's a really crazy like artist to like trip to. The very first like intense psychedelic experience I had, I listened to "All Follow the Sun" by the Beatles for 2 hours,
That's beautiful.
and that song is less than 2 minutes long.
For 2 hours,
For
you
2
looped that
hours.
shit?
Yeah, it was like
That's tight.
I felt like it was written about me. like it was like preaching direction. Like it was like I'll follow the sun. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. Do you think those experiences have impacted your music at all?
Absolutely. I wanted to make a whole like psychedelic album about like I'm still making it. I'll say that. Yeah. But yeah, it's beautiful.
Sick,
yeah,
dude.
definitely.
Yeah. Do you okay, interesting question here. When you like first started taking music seriously, do you remember a feeling that like would bring you back to it? This is like I don't know why, but the previous conversation got me thinking about this. Like, do you remember like why you first fell in love with it and what kept you coming back to it?
Honestly, when I first started, it was just because it was this activity that I could do with my uncle, who like I really looked up to him. You know what I mean? Like this is a role model, and I was like, bro, this dude's so hard. Like everything they're doing is so hard. Like all, you know. So I was just like looking up to this group of young men. You know, whatever. We're just that's the activity we did. It was like rap, and so then like, you know, as I moved forward, I wanted to get like better at that so I could do it. And then it started being a way to like hang out with friends and stuff. Like, at least on like I had like other homies who I would rap with, and we would just like I would just work on it, they would work on it, and it was amazing, bro. Like high school, like Dewan, shout out Dewan, amazing human. This dude Alex too, when I was younger, it was crazy, bro. It was definitely a thing to do with someone, and it was like now we have something from it. Like you have a song, and you guys can listen to that shit. You know?
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like
I've never thought about it like that.
You can't really just like if you go hoop, you're just hooping, and then that's done.
Then it's over.
But you have something to take away from it, like if you're recording it. And I think once I learned the skill to do it, because my uncle showed me how to do that shit just on GarageBand, but it was cool, and I was like, bro, this is so tough. Like you can literally just hear whatever ideas you're putting down, whatever you thought was cool at the time, you know.
Your uncle sounds like a beautiful person. Like that's really cool that he gave that to you. That's really awesome.
He was great, bro. Yeah, he overdosed in 2020.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. He left a a beautiful son for us. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's
shout out to
awesome.
you. He's amazing.
How's your family, like, you know, in the ilk of that, as you have progressed as a musician and found traction and found success? Like, how has their reaction been? Like, as you've kind of grown into your own as a musician and grown, like, has that been, I'm sure that's been awesome for them to watch.
Yeah. My mom has always been super supportive.
Cool.
I don't really talk to my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And grandpa's been hella supportive.
Sick.
Yeah, it's cool. Families, they're all pretty supportive. Even though, like, I feel like the topics aren't always the most, like, family friendly, you know, and with, like, what I'm doing.
I don't think your lyrics are super, like,
no, but they're definitely yeah, I don't know, I just wouldn't, all I'm saying is I can't hear, like, the older generation or like grandma like listening to my shit.
Yeah,
but it's interesting because they're also like the ones telling me that's good music. I don't know, so
yeah, I get that,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I know exactly.
I just feel like I'm speaking such a specific language to like this generation or like my age, so like I can't see them understanding it, but they do, and that's really beautiful actually.
Yeah,
so maybe they understand that they can't understand it, or
I was just gonna say that,
you know.
Yeah, I think like some of the really coolest like people that are like of like our grandparents' age that like I love my grandma so much. She watches like a lot of these, like there's probably a good chance she's watching this, but like and like my grandma, like, and honestly all my grandparents, like my grandpa as well, my grandpa Steve, great human being, but he like, it's so interesting because I know he watches like almost everything, and it's so outside of his world, but I just have so much respect for people who like can look at a world that's so like outside of them and and be like, wow, like that's cool, and like try to understand it, you know.
That's huge.
Yeah,
that's big because my family, like, no one is music at all. No one
me neither.
Yeah, and it's just like they still like think it's like a amazing thing. They can just respect it, and I fuck with that, bro. That's a super beautiful thing for sure. I
think like real and honest and like long form conversation is like in my opinion, I think it's like what affects that the most. Like I think like sitting down with your parents and like really giving a shit and like sitting them down and explaining every intricate detail for like the truth and honesty of it and for like what it is. I feel like doing that and like explain those things to them can like make a lot of barriers I mean that's just my experience, I guess, but like make a lot of those things like make sense to the older generation.
Yeah, totally. I try to my mom is very anti-drugs. I think a lot of people in that generation are. And I tried to do that with her about mushrooms. I tried to explain to her like how she got so mad, bro.
Really?
She was not. She's definitely a little more open to the idea, and like, but I just was really trying to be on some real shit with her, and she was not having it. She's bringing up all these crazy like.
Hey, you tried.
The crazy like what's the funniest one is she brought up this news article where like someone died from mushrooms, but it was like
it's the same shit, bro.
Really?
Wait, what?
My mom does the same shit.
It's so funny, bro. I was like, no, this is great. This is so not related to like what I'm talking about. Like, this is such a different experience. You're talking about like,
they were like poisonous mushrooms, like the forest.
No, I guess it was like mushrooms, but it was like someone getting stabbed, and like I promise you, like that was not from the mushrooms. I promise you, there's other stuff going on, and that's like the like headliner because
it's chemically impossible to overdose on psilocybin.
Facts.
Like it's never happened.
Yeah, but also, you know, there wasn't a lot of education around those things, you know, when they're growing up. So it's also a lot easier to just like push them out and mark them as like bad, you know. Yeah. And try to like understand them.
I would love for my mom to do mushrooms. That would be so cool.
Me too.
Maybe I'll ask her
one day.
My mom, like, she I think I've asked her before, and she said she never has. She told me this one story one time. Hopefully I'm not like airing my mom out right now, but she told me this one story one time where she was like at a concert and she like hit a joint and it was like laced with PCP.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, when she was like
she
18. Yeah, she said she thought she was a pencil sharpener.
Wow,
that's what she said. Yeah.
Well, I guess she can be. She can be if she wants to.
Yeah, you never know.
She just got a knife for sharpening pencil.
It's like this, bro. A friend of mine sent me like a meme. Have you seen those memes where, on Instagram where it's like, it just is like a really distorted voice, and it shows like a bunch of pictures of ants, and the person's like, and the person will just be like, your skin is ants, your skin is bugs, scrape it off.
That sounds insane. I've never seen that.
It's like fucked up. Like it's like the how you get somebody tripping to like spiral like immediately. Like, it's so fucked up.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so like where you are right now. Yeah, sorry, we're gonna say something?
No. I wasn't gonna say shit.
For sure. Okay, so you have new music coming right now. You've dropped 3 songs in the past like couple months, right?
Yeah.
How is it like this new iteration of music been? Like, what's been inspiring you lately? You just played me some stuff before we were recording that was like you said sounded like way more like Yves Tumor type stuff.
Yeah.
Like in that vein. What kind of stuff has been inspiring you like as of late as you're kind of moving into this new chapter of music?
Fuck. Good question. Like, honestly, a lot of older stuff. Like, I've been listening to a lot of Marvin Gaye.
Cool.
I feel like I'm always listening to Choker.
Hell yeah.
Always. Kenny Mason's definitely my favorite rapper.
He's sick.
So definitely him. The South Hill Experiment, I think.
Whoa.
They're crazy. You have to listen
to
them.
Who are they?
They're just I don't even know who they are. I just been listening to them. They're so good. They're definitely modern though. Like they're not on some older shit. Oh fuck. Hold on, bro. I can't believe it. You know Blue Smiley?
No.
Oh, Blue Smiley's crazy.
I know Smiley. Just like
no, different.
Okay.
Different. Yeah, not Smiley's not the one that Drake. Yeah, Drake Smiley, bro. Yeah, Smiley's been my top. Smiley's hard, bro. Fuck that.
My friend Curtis swears that Smiley was the most influential rapper to him.
Wow.
And he talks about it all the time.
That is powerful.
Yeah.
I respect the fuck out of that.
That's honestly kind of a sick influence.
There's no one like Smiley.
No, dude,
he's a one of a kind.
That's what I mean, bro.
That's powerful.
Like, why didn't Smiley like continue? Bro, Smiley could have been the voice of a generation. How do you get the Drake?
Still can be.
He still can be. How do you get the Drake cosign and fumble that bad? Like, he's got to come back.
Yeah. Did he fumble?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Made his mark on the underground.
Maybe he's cooking up the hottest Toronto mixtape of the last 10 years. He's gonna drop it on all of us. We don't know.
What's like a good song by him? I don't
know a single song by Smiley.
Gucci and Prada.
or like Remble. Do you know Remble? Oh, bro. Remble is like this
the artist.
Yeah, he's kind of like on like the same level of like strange delivery as Smiley. But Remble was this guy who would pretty much just like rap by like talking. Like, well, I almost just want to play it for you right now. Like Remble was like one of the most unique rappers like I've ever, like almost as unique as Smiley. Like I can't believe I'm going down a Remble line right here, but like this, listen to this.
Oh, I've heard this, bro.
Did you think you would survive?
Fishes? Wait, go there.
Like he just talks.
Oh.
Can you believe that he tugged on my lip?
I've heard this, bro. Where have I heard this?
I don't know, but bro's like literally just talking.
4 6. Yeah.
Sorry, we got so off topic there.
No, it's okay, bro. It's so good.
We were talking about like, so like even like outside of musically, like as you kind of have moved into this new music, like has it been different creating in LA opposed to where else you were creating, and like what's been the most exciting part of it?
I feel like I've recently found my groove for sure, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just really into like a ton of different art right now. Like really raw shit. Really like I like the way that Basquiat feels. You know what I mean? The way that like. Yeah. Exactly, bro. Yeah. Exactly. Like just the raw shit. It reminds you why you're like human. You know what I mean? Like that. Like the more that I see like AI shit and the more like mechanical shit looks, the more perfect it looks, the more it makes me want to make some dirty shit. The like
interesting
shit that I'm like, bro, like we're getting away from what's important. I feel like, and it makes me just want to make simpler shit. Like it's like, bro, like just get a fucking child to like Drake having his son make the cover for that album, bro. That was like
kind of sick.
That was genius, bro. It's so smart. That's like. That's the shit that is so fire right now for some reason to me. It just is like the more raw shit is like I don't know, bro. It just can't be beat, bro. Like, I think we're going into a time where like you're gonna be able to make like anything you want, and it's like taste is just like that's the only thing that matters right now. Like just what are you what's your, if you were trying to tell a story, what is that? Like, I feel like for me that's like very intuitive. It's just very like, I'm not really trying to control any type of narrative necessarily in that sense, but whatever my story ends up being is like this driven by the intuition of whatever the fuck I was going through at that time, you know what I mean? And like even on a visual level, you know what I mean? Even like why I'm so attracted to that fucking Basquiat, you know what I mean? Like, how
did you find his stuff?
I mean, I was a visual arts kid, so
okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah,
it's just like, I don't even remember. I just remember being like, damn, this is so gas.
I was thinking about the AI stuff recently, and I think one thing that's interesting about what you were just saying is like, I think one thing that I'm trying to remember where this thought stemmed from. I think I saw a really honestly scary video of like it was kind of scary of like this AI cinematic footage. It was like AI, and you saw that like environmental cinematic footage that was like entirely that's AI, crazy. But like it like
looks so real.
What freaked me out, it was like the imperfections and how it had somehow managed to like recreate like the little jerks that like are so
the little fuck ups,
like all like the small like handheld movements. My bad, I should kick you. Like that was so weird to me, but it made me start thinking about like, dude, like that is what's gonna separate like AI from human shit. It's like what can they not create on like an imperfection level? Like what level of like human mess up like will AI not be able to recreate, you know?
Oh wait, can I show you something, bro?
Yeah.
I just made, the only reason I think this is fire is because I feel like you can't describe this to like an AI. Like I just drew this. I thought it was so cool. I think it's like a creature. I don't know what it is cool yet, but I feel like you can't tell something to make this. You know what I mean? And I think feel that's like
the longer I look at it, the more things I see.
Yeah, bro. I want to put it on a shirt, but yeah.
That is really sick.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I don't know what else the fuck to do besides like I just want to get away from that shit. And I don't know, I don't even really have a problem with like AI or anything. I think it's you know, it's gonna be very useful for people, and that's awesome, you know. I don't even think, have you seen The Creator?
No.
Have you heard about it?
No. What's that?
It just paints like it paints a very peaceful, it's a movie. It's very beautiful. It's probably one of my favorite movies right now. It paints a very beautiful, like peaceful existence with like AI and all that shit. And it's like, oh wow.
In what way? Like coexisting with it?
It's just like this, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, like, all right, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Shut it up if you're gonna listen. If we're gonna watch the movie, it basically like there's a lot of fucked up shit happening in it, but the setting is like AI robots like coexisting, these like half robot like kind of cyborgy things like coexisting with humans, and it's very peaceful, and they have like villages and stuff. Whoa. And they're like, and they just want peace, they just want to be left alone. And like we America just want to fuck with that. We just want, like, we feel offended. We're like, fuck, like AI, we have to kill them all. And like,
yeah, like, you know, strange tribalism.
We declare war on like AI or whatever. And
gotcha.
It's really interesting. It's like, bro, that's just a thing I hadn't thought about yet, and it was done so beautifully. The writing was a little corny at times, but it was so like poetic. I think it was trying to paint like a positive, you know, it was very poetic. So
yeah,
cool.
It is strange to think about like artificial intelligence as almost like humans. Like, it does get so interesting when it's like, is the goal to like, because like I feel like the goal of artificial intelligence is not to create human life, but to create something that like enhances human life.
Yeah.
So I think now it's strange that we're all kind of thinking about it in the lens of like, will it be human life, and like if it is and when it is, like does it have like rights, and like is it like a like what is it like?
And that's kind of what the movie is touching on.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
My favorite AI portrayal is the movie Robots.
I feel like is that with Will Smith?
I don't even know, to be honest. Okay. It's an animated movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I haven't seen it then.
It's like an animated kids movie, but it's like so fun.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's like a super slept on Pixar movie.
Keeps it light.
Yeah. No, yeah, but I'm definitely of the belief that like I think the one thing, and this is like my biggest like take on the AI thing. Like I think that the reason that like AI art could not replace traditional art that's made by humans, the reason why I believe that is because we as human beings relate to art so specifically because the fact that it's made by another human being that like is influenced by human emotions, and we are human beings, so we feel human emotions, so that's where the relatability stands. Even if like, you know, if like there was an AI that could like make a Keni Can Fly song, right? It's like just the simple fact that like it isn't Keni Can Fly making the Keni Can Fly song will make somebody not relate to it in the same way as they would if you made it. Just because they are aware of the fact that a robot made it and we're not a robot, so I just don't think it'll like.
What if they're not aware?
Well, that's
not disclosed.
That's the thing, right? Like that's like the most interesting part. Like I think, like that, in my opinion, is what's gonna really, really dictate the future of all this shit. Is like if like legally you have to disclose that.
You should have to. That should always legally have to be disclosed.
I think so too.
That's crazy if it's not. That just sets up a world of like delusion and like just things. I mean, I guess we're already kind of in that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Just like random, I don't know, misdirection and like, oh yeah, I don't want to think about that.
And if you disclose it, how does it look? Like,
yeah, what does that look like?
Like
some like fine print at the bottom where like, no one can see it.
Or is it like if you're playing a song on Spotify, it's like AI. Like, is it like a different font, or like do they like stamp like AI?
Or its own genre.
Its own genre.
They have AI art. That's its own genre.
I've seen the AI art. The AI art shit's bro. On it, I got a gripe, dude. I hate the AI album covers that people are going to right now. I'm just not with them.
That's so fair. I would never do AI art album covers. I think that just changes the whole reason why I do this shit. Like I would never have, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
it's like such a different.
It fundamentally changes the whole thing. Yeah.
It's like, you know, you have a why for like, maybe you don't have a why, and then maybe it doesn't matter, but at least I do. Like I want my shit to like have purpose and like have meaning and like that. Oh, I don't know. And maybe I do it, and it's because I'm trying to say something about AI cover. I don't know, but I can never see just in terms of like trying to intuitively trying to create. I don't know, bro. That feels so wrong.
I think what I don't like about it is that I can instantly pick it out. like I can tell, but that's the thing, right? It's like, when will we get to the point where like I can't pick it out?
Yeah, totally.
Because right now I can dude, I can always tell.
Yeah.
I think, dude, another thing that's scary is like, I think for producers, like, is there a chance that AI just like takes over the producing job? Like, do producers? Well, I guess maybe not, right? Because there's always been like tight beats and like, you know, like loops and sampling have always been a thing. So it's like,
totally.
I guess it wouldn't do that realistically, unless you could like go into GPT and be like, generate me like a 121 BPM like boom bap beat. Ooh, I keep sneezing. My bad.
No, you're good. Yeah, that's interesting, bro. That's definitely gonna happen. Unfortunately, I'm definitely not gonna partake in that. Damn. That's crazy.
I feel like that ruins the whole thing, because the whole point is the process, you know?
It ruins why I do this shit, I feel like.
Yeah.
Dude, sometimes I feel like I have so much music. I could have been like dropping like stuff that I think is like maybe a little less quality, but people would still love it. I feel like it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel fucking right. And I'm so like picky about that shit. But I think that's gonna serve me in the long run. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
You know,
100%.
I think that represents something way more important at the end of the day. Like, damn. So I don't even really know, but I'm down for it. Like, that's just how I am right now for some reason.
I think so much of art is not the product, but how you got to the product.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
It's like the journey, and then I think the interesting part too is like figuring out the way to tell the journey. It's like, how do you make the thing, but then like tell the story of making the thing at the same time.
And sometimes you don't even have to try to do that part.
Oh, interesting.
It just does it itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, like telling the story of how it was made. Yeah, sometimes I feel like showing the thing is like inherently, I don't know, tucked in it is like also how it got to be what it is. You know what I mean?
Huh. Yeah.
Maybe if it's not super directly or like super concrete, but yeah, I don't know.
Like the story of how it was made sits within it.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know why, but every time I hear songs that I really like, did you ever hear any of these Frank leaks?
Whose leaks?
Frank Ocean?
No. I did not.
Okay, there's this one leak, and I was just like, I just felt like I could see so clearly like how that shit was made, or like why. I don't know, just like the shit he was talking about, the place he was in, the like attitude. It's so purely from him. Like his shit is so like
direct.
Yeah, but like not really direct. You know what I mean? But from a creative mind, you're just like, oh wow, I get it. Like that's fire. You know what I mean? But I just felt like I was like, oh shit, bro. Like that makes sense. That makes so much sense. I feel like I know why you did that. You know what I mean? Like, and not in a way that's like, oh, I figured you out. It's more like, oh, I respect the fuck out of that. You know?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know where that was going.
No, I totally feel you. I know what you mean. You work with, you said you were with Mateo, like on most of the production, right?
Yeah, he's gas.
Has that been like a really big like ease off your back, being able to work with like one producer? I'm sure, right? Because probably knows your sound and as you grow with them and everything.
I think the biggest thing it's helped is that I basically produce most of my own shit now because I learned how to produce from him, because he's such a close homie to where like I learned so much from this man to where like I'm basically my own producer now, but he's also like obviously a huge part of that, and he has such a sound to where like I'll never be able to get to that quality. Like when there's shit that I'm like, oh, this could use like Mateo's touch, you know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm at a place now because of him, thanks to him, to where like I already knew how to produce, but like he really like showed me how to do some crazy shit on there for sure. And he's so far though. He produces for like Toby Lou.
Cool.
Yeah, he has a song with Damian Lillard and like Polo G and like just kind of a lot of random really dope artists that like he's tough though. He's really tough.
Damn. Yeah, that's so sick, dude. Those are the best friends in the world, I think.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
Like the friends that like
so funny motherfucker too. That dude is so hilarious.
Like the friends that like refuse to gatekeep stuff, and it's like their entire goal is to like get to a place where they can share with other people and like allow their friends to grow, you know? Yeah,
for sure.
Like I feel like if someone's gatekeeping shit from you, they're not your friend.
That's fair. I feel like with artists it's a little, I like respect when an artist is gatekeeping some shit.
Interesting.
In a certain way, when it's like, oh, it's not ready yet. Like I fuck with that. I'm like, okay, get it ready then. Like I'll be over here, bro. Like get it ready. You know what I mean? Like I think that's cool. But like,
interesting.
Yeah, gatekeeping. I know what you mean though, and that's not. Yeah, I totally agree, bro. Like that shit's lame. And if they're your friend, like yeah, you should just show them the shit, like teach them how to fish, you know. Don't give them the fish, you know.
But that's an interesting way to look at it too though, like making sure that like when you're showing the final, like dude, I think that's actually a very interesting point. Like I think there's something to be said about not like telling everybody about every single thing that you're making in the moment, you know, unless you're like a super creative like collaborative partner or whatever. But it's like, totally, dude, like I think that like so many artists shoot themselves in the foot by just like, let me drop this demo and let me like and let me tease this song and tease this song, you know, and like no hate to it, but it's just like it sometimes gets rid of the illusion. Like I think the illusion is so important.
I want the magic back, bro. I want the magic back so bad. Like whatever the fuck early like Disney is, Disneyland, like Disney. That shit is so dope, bro. When I was a kid and I didn't know what the fuck was happening, I was just like in that world. I was like, oh my god, like that shit's so fire. That is so cool, bro. I think that's such an art in itself that is. I don't know. I think as artists we should be thinking about the experience we're giving to people, and it's like I'm not hiding anything. Like I'm not hiding myself on this shit. I'm being way too honest, to be honest. like to be real, bro. I say some shit I just should not. That like I think about that all the time. Like damn, bro. Like whatever, bro. I guess I'm just transparent in this bitch. Like I'm just gonna show everyone, just like the topics I'm going over and things like that. But like, I think the art is like, if you can keep the magic alive, if you can present it in a way that's like that shit's magical to the person, like that's everything. That is so beautiful. Every artist that like can successfully do that, in my opinion, is like successful.
I don't know if that's the right words for it, but it's almost like hard. Like, I don't mean ignorance in like ignorant, you know, like when I say ignorance, I mean like the lack of like the lack of understanding. It's like almost harboring that ignorance in a way, like, you know, like it's almost like keeping a little bit of that, like keeping a little bit of the illusion. And it's interesting, right? Because like that never used to be a challenge. Like before social media, that was the norm. Like we used to like it, I mean, I guess I wasn't like super sentient, but like my understanding
super sentient.
Yeah, like I mean, but you know,
when I was young, I wasn't sentient.
Well, I was sentient, but it wasn't
facts,
you know,
I know what you're saying.
But like but like what's I saying? Oh yeah, but like it used to kind of be the norm to like just question our artists and like their lives. Like what was the TMZ thing? What was it? Or no, it was Stars, and then the tagline was "They're just like us." Yeah, you know, it was like there was that weird like a bit of allure between like us and the musician, like the fan and the musician, like. And now through the internet, a lot of that's kind of been like demystified. Like a lot of that like wondering what your favorite artist is thinking about and like who they are and like what their favorite, you know, like how they made this sound, how this came to be. Like I think it's like a cool thing, and it's not, because you know my favorite thing in the world is the stories behind music. That's why I started what I do. It's like my favorite thing ever. But simultaneously, I can see the appeal in just like loving the music for only the music, and like kind of having your own interpretation of it and like trying to decode it in your head. And I can see that kind of having things, you know, have more staying power, opposed to now where it's like, dude, you can look up your favorite artists right now, and odds are, if they're big enough, they have 19 interviews, and like they're on, you know, they have like a one. They got like they got like a genius lyric video and like
explaining everything. Yeah,
like Pigeons and Planes, like my favorite things video. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can figure out everything about them.
Yeah, and that's cool. I think there's some cool stuff to that. I think a lot of it also has like a lot of that. Like the personality of the artist is a big thing. Like I feel like I used to be so open. Like I used to be in a place where I wanted to show everyone everything, and then I got into this place where I got very like introspective and just like started looking a lot more inward, and was like, I feel like that's when real like I really started to be okay with experimenting and like doing weird shit. But that experimentation, whatever that was, like I just want that for myself. Like I don't want to show that. Like at some point I'll show it and it'll sound dope, but I don't even feel like when I was saying like keep that to yourself, like gatekeep that about whatever said theoretical artist friend, like show me when it's ready. Like I feel that way to the world, like where I'm like I'm in a state of experimentation right now. This is for me and like my weird little like situation of whatever that is. I'm in the lab doing some weird shit and we're figuring it out, and then you know what I mean, like when it's ready to be seen, you'll see it and you're gonna fucking love it, because I love it, you know what I mean? And I don't know, I think right now I'm definitely in a place where I just want to keep some shit to myself though, because like social media is such a weird thing. Like there's no rules. You can show whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. You can,
or you can not show whatever you want too, you know?
Yeah, totally. Or you cannot show it, you know? And I think that's, I don't know. If you can keep the magic alive for yourself in the art, then you'll always want, like, be happy. You'll always enjoy this shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, if it's magic to you, then you'll always be like, this will just always be the coolest thing ever to you, you know? It's
almost like hopelessly chasing that feeling when you make something that you're obsessed with.
Yeah.
You know, that, bro, regardless of what medium you're in, what kind of art you make, what kind of thing you make, it's like that feeling when you make some shit that you just keep going back and you're like, and like, when you move back and you're like, that is the shit. Like, that is sick. Like, that, bro, that is crack. Like, nothing feels like that, you know?
That's crazy.
That's the most addictive feeling in the world.
I feel that way in a certain way about what I showed you today, bro. That thing.
Dude, that shit's so sick.
Thank you, bro.
Of course.
I feel like in another way, like, if I was like finishing it up today, I would not have showed that to you though if I didn't like do the stuff I did to it today. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, today was my like day to do some weird shit to it, and it got to a sick place.
What'd you tweak on it today?
What did I tweak on it? I added everything, bro. That whole song sounded so different yesterday. I just like figured it out. I cracked the code.
Sick.
Yeah, just like the vocal sounds, exactly how the vocal sounds is what I like tweaked it to today, and like I re-recorded everything today, and just a lot of that shit is just all from today. So
dude, hell yeah, it sounded super sick.
Thank you.
Changing gears a little bit, this is a question I wanted to ask you. I asked a lot of people this, but I'm interested in this. What do you think the biggest learning experience has been like throughout your career so far? Like, what do you think would be the low point musically, and how did you kind of find your way out of that?
Low point musically, I think like just like I was very depressed like the last like year. I went through some dark shit, and not even necessarily like I feel like I went through harder situations before, but like for some reason I just couldn't get myself out of that frozen like place for like a good chunk of time. And I'm definitely out of that shit now, and I feel great, but that definitely low point, I would say that's like probably one of the lowest points. But I think because that was the lowest point, I made some crazy sick shit that I would not have made otherwise.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like I feel like I get in a habit. I've been doing that, just like kind of letting that shit take its course and sing what happens from it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think we kind of go through things, and we're human, you know. It's not supposed to be perfect. But I definitely see it as like overall a good thing, if that makes sense.
No, totally. I mean, some of the darkest and the most difficult moments harbor some of the best art. You know,
and
I think
just like as a human, just as a person, it makes you a better person, you know, because you have empathy for like fucked up shit that people are going through now, like, you know, whatever that is, you know what I mean? Like, and there's different levels to that shit, obviously, but it's just, you know,
finding that perspective. Yeah, dude. I think like getting older and finding that place of empathy, like, it's medicine. Like, I think when you begin to lead with that, you look at the world through an entirely different set of glasses.
Totally.
I think one of the biggest things for me in that regard was like I remember pretty specifically around the time like when I stopped judging people for the way that they were, and instead like tried to question why the way they were the way that they were. And I think that was like a very, very, very powerful realization.
That's cool.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. That's really cool.
Yeah, because like you never know why somebody feels what they do, why they're going through what they are, but it's like leading with that level of like radical empathy, and like allowing people's story to be told, and like allowing people to like let themselves be explained, you know. Like totally. I don't think we all have to explain ourselves, but I think if you're an empathetic person, like, it should be part of your job to try to, like, sympathize with people who you disagree with and figure out, like, why they feel the way that they do, and don't ostracize them or hate them for that, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. Last thing I want to ask you, what if you had one, like, overarching message that you could spread through your music, one biggest like outlining message and goal that you could spread to the listeners of your music, what would it be?
That you literally create your own reality, like, actually, and like like, have you ever lucid dreamed?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, one day I hope you do.
Thank you. Yeah, that'd be so cool. I hope I do too.
Lucid dream. If you're in a lucid dream, you can, like, and it's people who are good at lucid dreaming, they, like, can make anything happen that they want to happen. Like, at the time, like one time I spawned, like, Chance the Rapper, and we just had a conversation.
Yo,
like, crazy shit, right?
Here's new snippet. Sorry to cut you off.
What?
You hear his new snippet?
No. Bro, yeah, I'm down to hear that.
It's insane. I'll play for you in a second.
I would love to hear that. Chance is one of my favorite rappers
dude,
ever.
So good.
He's amazing.
Back. Sorry, I totally cut you off.
That's so good.
I totally cut you off.
No, that means so much to me. You have no idea, bro. That is so good to hear.
Yeah.
But so, you can make anything happen, bro. Like, you really can. And, like, in this life, I see it as no different. The only difference is time. Like, like, you really just, like, I'm so fucking, like, not supposed to be here, bro. Like, I'm not supposed to be doing this. I just fucking started doing it. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's so interesting how true it is that, like, even if, like, you can't just, like, spawn something to come here, you can, like, make that happen, and time is the only thing that's, like, stopping that from happening right now. But absolutely, bro, like, you control, like, the way you feel about shit. You control the way that, like, you move forward in the future. You control what you think is good and bad. You know what I mean? Like, good and bad, like, when you really think about, like, good and bad, like, who's telling you that? Who's telling you what's good and bad?
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, what's good now is not good 50 years ago. What's good 50 years ago is not good 50 years before that. You know what I mean? So that shit is always changing, and, like, we're always, like, in this place of I don't know. It's like, once you realize you can create that for yourself, then you're in a great place. Like, I promise you, and you just, like, find your own peace and do what you can in this world while you're here, you know.
That's beautiful. I say that so much. It's a broken record on me at this point, but I always say, the way I always say it is, life is malleable.
Yeah.
Like, you truly
for sure
can change, like, this entire world to exactly what you want it to be.
Yeah, bro. That's
you can
so true.
mold everything around you to be exactly how it looks in your brain, you know?
That's pretty.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Kenny, thank you, brother.
My dog. Thank you, bro.
This is a very, very fun one.
Yeah, that was fun.
Tell them where they can find you, where they can follow you, where they can stream you. The new songs are out. More songs are coming. Where can they get all of it?
You can listen to it anywhere. My name is Kenny. I go by Keni Can Fly. Keni Can Fly. Yeah, you can hear that shit anywhere. I have an EP coming out, and then I'm working on an album right now, and I'm very excited. And yeah, stay healthy.
Hell yeah.
Take
Cheers,
care of
brother.
yourselves. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Music
bro.
matters.
Music
Alrighty.
matters.